here's my interview with Flames of Durga. They're a LA-based hard rock band who came through Bisbee recently for the Jones of Rock concert, and we provide more details about that event, which may come back to Bisbee next year in the podcast, and I'll also provide some links to their music on bisbeelive.com. Thanks everyone for listening and for sticking with the podcast, even though I'm not regularly releasing episodes right now. I have a lot of ideas, though, about what the podcast is going to turn into or what might morph into a different podcast, and I will keep all of my listeners updated on all of that. So I'm starting off with the song Shine by Flames of Durga with written permission to play this song on the podcast from the band. And then we'll go into the interview. This is Mike Butler, and you're listening to Bisbee Live. Well, I'm sitting here with the Flames of Durga.
What's up, dude? How are you?
Not much. You guys just played at the Quarry.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Jones of Rock concert.
Yes, well, first of all, Bisbee is so fucking cute. Excuse my French. I don't know if I could say that on here, but oh my God, I love it here.
Yeah,
it's so
no,
cute.
we're loving Bisbee already. We just got here at like 4:30 and we played at 5, but oh my gosh, we
love
in
it
love
already.
right away.
Yeah. How did you guys get in the bill?
Yes, the festival.
Yeah, the fest is super cool. We're meeting like actually a good amount of like female fronted Tucson bands or like all female like rock bands from Tucson.
So refreshed.
Very close by.
We're so excited about it.
Yeah, no,
So
it's
many good
awesome.
bands.
So fun to be a part of it.
So how many other bands outside of Arizona are playing this Jones of Rock concert? Is it? How did you guys get on the bill?
Let's see. The organizer of the fest, Facebook messaged us. Gosh, like a few months ago at least.
There was an LA
over a few
show
months
first,
ago.
and we were
Right.
like, crap, we can't. Crap, we can't do that. But she was like, how about this Bisbee date? And we're like, oh, well, we're going to be planning a tour anyway, and we want to do more Southwest dates. So it just kind of worked out that way, and then we integrated it into our tour route.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys came out because you're hitting a lot of bigger cities, and it's amazing that the amount of talent that comes through Bisbee for it being such a small town.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
So awesome. Oh my God.
I think I was talking to you guys earlier. No, we stopped at the Courtyard. This is a very impromptu interview. I should explain. I don't have my notes. I had all sorts of things I was going to ask you guys, but I don't have it with me. But I was talking to someone from Tucson, and I was telling her about how I saw Big Business here, which is like this hardcore band that would pack like if they were playing in Denver or something, they would pack. The whole venue would be sold out, but I got to see them down here with like 10, 15 people, like some people just coming down from Tucson at the quarry.
We love the Melvins too, by the way.
The Melvins, yeah.
Well, no, Big Business has a huge tie-in with the Melvins. I'm not sure.
That's right, yeah.
The rhythm section from Big Business did the last Melvins tour.
Okay. Yeah, and they came down here, and it was almost like when I see a band like that down here in Bisbee, it's almost like a magical experience because it's very intimate.
It's so intimate, and like there's no big, speaking of Big Business, there's no giant venues.
Yep.
So being able to see like a bigger band in a smaller place is pretty magical.
It is.
Yeah,
it is. And it was great seeing you guys. What was the second song that you guys played? I snapped some video of it. It was
Remember
badass.
Remember the Now.
Yeah, that seemed to really get the crowd going. That was like when people started kind of just coming in. It was you guys played pretty early, but this event was all day. So it's the Jones of Rock, and it's showcasing women in rock and roll, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so let me explain. You guys are twins, and you grew up in the LA area, right?
Yeah, Silver Lake and Echo Park.
Okay.
Born and raised.
So, I grew up in the punk rock scene in Rochester, New York, and it was smaller, and I've been to LA, and it's like that. Such a big area. Is it more? Is it harder to find like your scene, or is it? Like, do you find like little pockets?
Oh, there's definitely
because
little
there's
pockets.
so many places that I can imagine you can play.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, like,
LA,
there's a ton of different bands all over the city, obviously, but like, there's definitely a ton of pockets.
And you'll gravitate toward
you'll just naturally fall into the pocket that you belong in. I don't know, but there's definitely a cool kind of like underground rock scene happening in LA right now for sure.
And
a lot of really cool East Side stuff going on.
I didn't grow up in LA, but you do have to, like, if you really want to see a band that you really like, you have to work for it. You have to drive across town.
Yeah.
And, like, literally, like a 40-minute drive to go see your friends that are in town that you really want to see.
Right.
True, yeah. Sometimes it's like way far away from where your quote scene might be, but it's exactly what you want to see, and it's really fucking cool.
Well, I experienced that even when I was living in Phoenix, because I just learned this recently. Phoenix is the 5th largest city in the country now.
Really?
It's just huge. Like, when I was living there, like I would have to travel 45 minutes just to see.
And
You know what?
And there's hardly any 2-story buildings.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I love that about it.
That's why it's so spread out.
I love that about it.
Yeah,
You
I
guys like
started
that, huh?
driving, like, I was close to Phoenix the other day as we were driving into Phoenix. And there were just, like, all of a sudden people were, like, speeding and cutting around me. I'm like, oh, shit. All right, I'm approaching the city right now.
Yeah.
All of a sudden.
You felt at home?
It almost reminded me of LA
Driving
for a
through the
second.
middle
I'm
of
like, oh, okay,
nowhere.
we're coming back to the big city now. But, yeah.
What is the name of your tour that you're on right now? And where have you played already?
Okay. We're calling it the Shine Tour.
Yep,
Shine
yep,
is our
yep.
newest single off our EP, Illicit. And we went all the way up the West Coast, and we went to like Portland, Seattle, Tacoma.
Yeah, we kicked it off in LA. Our first out of town
Right.
show was actually Oakland, and then Portland. And
Oh, yeah.
then
Right.
What was after Portland?
Tacoma.
Tacoma, of course.
Tacoma fucking loves us. They're awesome.
Yeah.
Tacoma.
Oh
Oh
my
god.
And Seattle was awesome too.
Seattle.
Those were, I think, some of our favorites so far on
I
this
love
tour.
Seattle so much.
And then we also came back down through Olympia, and then we had a crazy long drive from Olympia to
Southern
LA,
California.
but Fullerton is the next
one
show
day.
after that because we didn't manage to get a gig in between there, so it was a long day of driving.
yeah,
from
we
Olympia.
we started after our show. We hung out with who was going to be our host for the night, who played in one of the other bands. They're called Tangles, and they were really good too. But we were hanging out with them for a while, and we were like, you know what? We have a 14-hour drive around there, something like that. 18?
It was an 18.
Oh my God,
yeah,
18.
yeah. So Nate took the first
So
shift.
we were
all
like, you
take
know what?
shift
We probably
driving,
have to just go after this.
We're like, oh wait, I don't know if we should crash out
So,
yet. We should get a head
We went for a while. We got a head start, and then we pulled over into a rest stop and slept for a
Took
couple
little
hours
power nap,
in the van.
and then I think Nate kept driving. God bless him.
He did for a little bit, yeah.
For a
Oh my
little
God,
bit,
good job.
and then we got some coffee and we switched. So
Yeah.
we take shifts driving. But so then Olympia, Fullerton,
Ventura.
we hit up San Diego, and we hit up Ventura was a lot of fun
So much
with
fun.
Father Badass.
Yeah, Jesse Hughes from Eagles of Death Metal. We
Yeah.
played with him. He
Very
did
cool.
a couple acoustic songs, and then he was with a couple badass musicians that backed him up in the Battery Electric. And so they did some cool stuff. And that was in Ventura. We got a little reset at home for 2 nights.
Yeah, I got to sleep for half a day or something.
Where'd you guys play in Tacoma?
Tacoma.
It
it was the
what was it called?
Oh yeah, the Airport Tavern.
Airport Tavern. There we go.
Playing
So many
charades. with them.
venues in a row.
No,
You're
that
like,
was
wait,
a cool
Tacoma.
venue.
Charades is right.
Yeah, the Airport Tavern. No, cool spot. Super cool spot in Tacoma. I don't even know if I had been to that area,
And
that
then-
part of Tacoma.
Yeah,
yet.
Before we got here, we did San Diego and then Phoenix,
Oh right, yeah, before here. Yeah.
P-Town.
Yeah, I mean, you're heading to Tucson tomorrow.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
3 stops in Arizona is pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you guys
that's
hit
pretty good.
up Bisbee.
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh my God, me too.
I'm so glad we did.
My
Oh
dad
God.
was like, "Oh, you're playing Bisbee. Oh, you're gonna love Bisbee.
It's such a
an
hippie
old
town."
hippie town. Like, awesome. Well, that's right up my alley. So.
Yeah, it's
I love
perfect.
that.
Hippie for Arizona.
Right.
Right.
Who knows when my dad
That's a
came
good
here
way
though?
to
He
put
probably
it.
came here in the 70s or
Yeah.
something.
Well, our dad's a hippie. So
Yeah, our
we
dad's
have
a hippie.
we have that hippie side, of
Right.
course.
Yeah.
And so you're promoting your new album. The video that I saw of the single of the album, where did you guys film that? It seems like in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
Looks-
we filmed it out
Yeah.
in Joshua Tree.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was filmed at this dry lake bed, which was super
Massive
rad.
dry lake bed,
Yeah,
yeah.
massive dry
Where
lake
we happen
bed.
to live when we're not in LA.
Right. We
Is
also
there
have
anywhere? Is that anywhere in the Salton Sea? Am I in the same
not
area?
In the
or-
Salton Sea, even
in the
though
high
that's a
desert.
cool spot,
It's
but it's
Yeah.
the high desert. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's about 2 hours away from LA.
Yeah.
And no, it was a cool spot. It was this really rad, huge, expansive
Yes.
spot, this huge dry lake bed, and there were cool big cracks in the ground. And anyway, it was a fun place to shoot.
It was,
for sure. Yeah.
So how would you guys describe your sound? Unless you don't like answering that.
Oh, we
heavy,
have to answer that
Of course,
question.
Yeah.
heavy, grungy rock,
Heavy
and
rock,
roll.
yeah, rock and roll.
right.
We're
Yeah.
a power trio, so
Although
rock
when
and
we
roll power
played
trio.
Fullerton, the sound guy after we played was like, "Fuck yeah, I need me some 80s metal."
80s metal.
Oh my
yeah.
God! All right, I'll take it.
Okay,
But
so
yeah, I
there's
think
that
that's the
influence,
first
I guess.
time I've heard that reference to our sound. But yeah.
Well, I was telling Chris earlier that when I was early in my early 20s, I was really into monotonics. Have you guys ever heard of monotonics? They're from Tel Aviv, Israel. And they have a similar sound, but they also have a very high energy like you guys do.
Oh, I need to look
And
them up.
yeah, I got to see them in Vegas and Rochester, and
Cool.
they're like very crowd participation. They'll get into the crowd, and the drummer will dismantle his drum set, and he'll give everybody like a piece of the drums, and like and have everybody coordinate with the song.
Wow.
Yeah.
Monotonic.
Monotonics. They're from Tel Aviv. They're fucking awesome.
But I'll bet they have way less tattoos than we do.
I can't remember at this point. I just remember at one point when I saw him at the Bug Jar in Rochester, one of the members had a bunch of duct tape. And like my friend was probably like 19 years old at the time, and he duct taped himself to her. And he was just like, and he was just like trailing around with her on his, pretty much on his chest, and like, they're just a wild band.
Oh my God,
they're pretty much a bunch of like, middle-aged Israelites. Like you got to check them out.
What are they called? What are they called?
Monotonics.
Monotonics. Awesome. I need to check them out.
One of the things I do remember when I was taking my notes. I used to play in bands. It's been quite a while, but there was nothing like.
What are you playing?
I was playing bass, and then
I was going to say that for some reason. I felt the bass vibe.
Yeah, you felt it, and then I was a singer for a ska band for a while, and we went on tour.
Nice. I like ska. Cool.
And there's nothing like the connection that you feel with a band. It's almost like
totally.
I've described it as like a group marriage, like something about organizing a song and playing it all together. There's nothing like that. And on top of that, you guys are twins, and I imagine on top, you guys have a connection already as twins. And on top of that, you're harmonizing too, which is one of the most amazing things you can do with another human being. And you guys get to all experience that together. Like,
yes.
I don't know.
Fuck yeah.
What was the birth of that? When did you guys start playing out? When did you meet your drummer here? And is it just like one of the most amazing things that you can possibly do with your sister?
Yeah, music is the fucking best. We love it.
Absolutely. It just feels so natural and so right.
Totally.
To sing and play music together, to write songs together.
Yeah. We grew up like writing songs together when we were like so young, and like even before we played instruments. Like I remember in elementary school we would just like start singing melodies together.
Yeah. I think we like started our first official band when like NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys were like really huge in like elementary school.
Was that your sound?
You're like, okay, we're starting a band.
And we just had all these like
we had like three other girls with us. We're like, okay, you're in our band now, so this is what we're doing.
No, I remember the name too.
And we wrote like 2 songs or something.
Angels
and we thought we were really cool.
But no, I remember. We
like
sing like original songs. We just like would create songs for fun.
Those were some of the first songs I remember writing.
Some of the first songs
in like 3rd grade.
And then we grew up playing instruments after that.
Violin, flute, piano. We played for a few years, more than a few years, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when we were teenagers, it was like, all right, give me a guitar.
You found.
But anyway,
rock and roll.
And then we found rock and roll, and it changed everything for the better.
Playing music together and connecting with an audience is like part of being something bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what playing music is like, connecting with other people.
Yeah.
And creating a vibe and, connecting with people outside of even your circle.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
so, like, just being a part of something that's bigger than yourself is, a lot of what being a band is.
Absolutely. And I feel like just humbling yourself to be able to channel something out when you're writing a song, because sometimes it feels like it's just coming from this other place and you're just like there. Your body's almost like, your body and your mind's almost like the instrument for what needs to come out.
Yeah.
So that happens too. And that's like an amazing feeling. So it's always great to like be able to like humble yourself enough. And then you get in that zone, you get in the flow state, and you're just like channeling stuff,
Totally.
through your own unique instrument, per se. But speaking of something greater than yourself,
But oh my God! So we've been a band for like 4 years now,
Yep.
and Nate came into the band. He was already a friend of the band, and we had one of our older friends was a drummer for like 6 months when we like just got a
barely
drummer.
started.
Because we like
little babies.
we were bass and guitar even before we had a drummer, and we were just like, fuck it. Like, we had songs to sing.
We had to do it.
Yeah.
And we also went through this crazy car accident together. And that shook things up. And that was before we started a band. And after we lived through that, and thankfully everyone who was in the car lived through it. The car, like, flipped upside down 3 times. We got pretty beat up. I was in the back seat with my sister here. And, you know, we lived through it, and it was a big reminder of, holy shit, we're not done here. We have so much to do, and making music and performing music and sharing this whole thing with as many people as we can is big reason we're still here and what we have to do.
Totally. Huge part of our purpose.
Yeah. It just reinforced that for sure.
That. And yeah, after that, it was like, we have to start a fucking band.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we doing? We
have to
could be
start a
gone
band.
tomorrow. Oh my
Right.
God.
And that's when Flames of Durga started to kind of arise.
Have you two always been pretty close? We were just at the courtyard, and then you both disappeared. I'm like, where the fuck did you guys go? And you're both in the bathroom together. What the?
They go to the bathroom.
What do twins do in the bathroom together? I'm so curious.
Whatever. Of course you go to the bathroom.
Well, yeah, it's your best friend. Obviously, you go to the bathroom together. It's a girl thing, I guess.
I think that's adorable.
So
I love
I've
it.
only been in Bisbee for a few hours, but I'm wondering, how do I catch one of those golf cart people movers?
You just flag them down.
Is there a separate like Bisbee app I need for that,
I
or
don't know. There should be. Is there a Bisbee app, Chris, that we can flag down the golf carts?
I love that there isn't, and I love that I have no service here.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fucking
totally.
great.
Yeah.
I love
This is, like,
that.
the most charming, like, little mountain town I've ever been to. It's
Yeah. In a lot of ways, it's like stepping back in time. You know,
Yeah.
it really is. You mentioned the car crash.
Yeah.
And I want to mention as well that I met you guys through couch surfing, which I don't think on my podcast I've mentioned. I don't think I've given any praise yet to couch surfing. I've been part of it for like probably 8-9 years,
Oh, yeah. Okay. Awesome.
and it's such an amazing resource. On one of your pages, no, both of you mentioned this story where you each got the same tattoos. you knew I was going to mention it.
Of course.
Yes.
5 different tattoos. You each have them on your body, and it was televised.
Yep.
On what's that whole story?
One for the books.
One for the books for sure.
When we were 22, it like totally just happened, kind of out of the fucking blue.
This opportunity like landed on our laps basically, and keep in mind this was like half the year later after we had almost died in this car
right.
crash.
Right.
And we were just like, you know what? I mean, I definitely was thinking, like, I want some new tattoos. Like, I was just, like, itching for it. And I was already thinking that. And then I think the same night, Ceci, like, checked her Facebook or something. And on the messages, it was, like, somebody an coworker
so
or
it was,
something.
like, an old coworker / friend kept in touch through Facebook and just sent me a message one day and was like, hey,
We're looking for twins.
do you mind if I recommend you to my friend who's a casting agent who's looking for identical twins?
Do you get
for
that
this
a lot in
tattoo
LA?
show?
Are people always looking for twins in LA?
I mean, you know, sometimes,
Not
but,
as often
you
as
know,
you'd think,
Yes,
but
in LA, people are always asking for twins.
I feel like
And
in
not just the
movies,
porn
though,
industry, I imagine.
I mean,
outside of that too.
probably. They usually try to make them like
Look like freaks or
and
something.
to
Oh,
be
yeah.
like exactly the same when it's like completely different than that. But
Right?
So
Yeah.
a friend recommended us to her casting director friend, and then before you know it, I got a phone call from like a producing or a casting producer,
casting director.
or director, yeah. And who was in New York and was like, hey, so we're interested in you guys, you're identical twins for this episode, but here's the deal. Like, before you decide to take this job, you need to know this, that you have to get 5 matching tattoos. And at the same time. And it was
Okay.
like, wait, what?
So there's-
I was like on the phone call with this woman, like,
So let me clarify.
Wait,
There was
what?
10 artists working at the exact same time.
Mm-hmm.
So all 5 tattoos were delivered simultaneously. So
I know. He
10
likes to talk about it.
tattoos
Though.
were happening at once in the same room.
So did you get to
So they-
choose?
yeah,
What the-
so. we
Yeah,
ended
no,
up-
of course we got
ended
to
up being down.
Hello.
We had-
I
was
wanted
like-
more tattoos, and I got to choose what I wanted.
Okay,
so.
good.
Right. No,
But I
no,
got,
it was
I mean,
a super
but yeah.
thrilling, exciting
It
experience.
was very exciting.
got
So you don't have like
flown to
corporate
New York.
logos all over your arm. or
No,
anything?
no.
Ew,
We got
no.
to choose what we wanted.
No.
And luckily, we have super similar taste, you know.
Yeah.
So we agreed
Let me
on
let me see
we
one of them
agreed
right
on
now.
all-
I'm gonna pull a
Well,
Howard
we
Stern.
got the Native American medicine woman.
Someone.
Okay. Yep. Yep.
So they're
Beautiful.
they're,
Yeah.
they're matching, but on
Opposite sides, yeah. So
Yep,
we're like
right.
mirroring.
Right.
And then the rose, there it is. Which reminds me of our grandmother, who we were named after and never got to meet. Yeah.
Yeah, no, each tattoo totally still has a
Yeah,
significant
there's definitely
meaning
a
for
significant
sure.
meaning behind like all of them.
Wait, I just remembered, and just to count me in, we have actually 3 matching
Oh,
tattoos.
yeah.
Oh, that's adorable.
Our first
Is that
tour.
the arrow that I see right in your
Our
forearm
first
there?
tour, we all got these matching tattoos, yeah.
So on a previous tour, we all got matching tattoos because
In Seattle.
I needed to be
first
part of their
tour.
club.
Our first tour, dude.
Oh,
The first time we ever toured.
Oh, no wonder why.
So anyways, they're arrows and that symbolizes like forward momentum, focus, your goals.
Right. So, what are the
Yeah.
goals of the band? So, you're promoting an album right now.
Yeah, well,
What's the name of the album
we're
again?
promoting an EP. It's a 3-song EP. We've got our single Shine on there, and we've got
Shine.
Thirsty and Machine. And then we're going back into the studio to record or to start to record our album later this year. So we're really excited about that
Yeah.
because it's our first album ever, and we're so ready.
We're so ready to
for
record
full
that
length.
full length. Hell yeah.
The first full length.
Yes.
First full length,
Cool.
yes.
And are you guys gonna go back on tour to promote that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Are you gonna hit the East Coast?
Oh my god.
Eventually?
Yes.
I really
we
wanna
need
hit up the East Coast. So
Hit up
bad.
Rochester.
Okay, cool.
If you start booking up there, let me know. I still have some connections up there.
Awesome.
It's not on a lot of people's radar, but there's some really cool music happening still in
Whoa.
Rochester.
Spring.
God.
We won't go there in the winter.
No, yeah,
definitely not.
Right. Yeah. No to winter time. Spring
Definitely
sounds awesome.
not.
Yeah. So.
I'm trying to think of some of the other things I wanted to bring up. You guys have played a fest. If everybody who's listening goes to your YouTube page, you have some live footage of the Yucca.
Yucca Man Shakedown.
All right, what's that all about?
Yucca Man Shakedown. Yucca Man Shakedown.
How long have they been doing that? Is that out in California, I imagine, right?
Yeah, in California, it's out in Joshua Tree or Yucca Valley area.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, it was a fun little
Yeah,
fest. that we
super
played.
cool.
Been 8 or 9 years.
Right.
Oh,
It was the
okay,
first
yeah.
time we played it though.
So they've
this
been
year.
doing it for like 8 or 9 years. But yeah, we were invited to play it. It was super fun. It was an outdoor stage on this guy's property who has a beautiful recording studio and
Acres
a
of
cool
land,
house.
yeah.
It's on like 5 acres of property
Mm-hmm.
in Joshua Tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, it was a ton of fun. So
And it's
We were
blocks
stoked to-
from our house too.
Oh, that's
and
perfect.
yeah, we also own a house.
love
in Joshua Tree,
playing
so-
outside.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that must be
yeah,
great.
Yeah. We have an apartment in LA and then a house in the desert. So we've been kind of hopping back and forth. Although LA has been keeping us there a good amount, but you know,
Right.
yeah. Our dogs are being they're being pet sitted by Natesville
Babysat.
right now out at the house in Joshua Tree.
Our babies have a babysitter.
A house out in Joshua Tree. Well, back to Bisbee. With this event tonight, the Jones of Rock, they started at 3. They're still going, showcasing a bunch of talent with women in rock bands, pretty much. But Chris and I, we caught the first band, and it was just this woman. She just pretty much had a loop
Oh yeah.
pedal.
cool.
And you guys weren't there yet.
I know. I wish we were. It took us a while
And
to
she
get
was
here.
just vocalizing pretty much. She was like almost beatboxing. And then she just kept looping it and she would sing to it and it was amazing. And I caught you guys for a few songs. Were they making some exceptions? Was this supposed to be all female bands? Obviously, you guys have a
No, they're all female fronted.
female fronted.
all female
yeah.
fronted, right? And
Right.
it's the first year, if I'm not mistaken, or what?
I
think so.
They did another festival in LA.
Oh,
At what
When,
was it? Cafe Nella.
Yeah, probably about 4 months ago, I guess. And so a couple of the same bands that played in LA also played here.
oh, awesome.
We
So
didn't
good.
actually-
So many good
We were out
bands.
of town, and so we were not able to play the show in LA. But so it's the second. It's not annual. I don't know, but
Right.
it's not the first festival.
Yeah.
So it's not the second annual, but it's not the first one.
I feel like it might be an annual thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Well, I hope every year now it's a.
what were they? The sugar stains, they were really fucking good.
Oh my god, yes.
They were awesome. We
So
want to
good.
play with them for sure.
We're discovering some really good Tucson bands.
Tucson,
Oh,
out of
yeah.
Tucson. And the Surfer Broads.
Yep.
They were
From
really
Tucson
good.
as well.
Yeah.
Ah.
I told you guys about Side Pony. You gotta
Oh,
get in the
yeah,
bill
yeah,
next
Side
year.
Pony.
Sounds so fun.
Yeah, I went into the courtyard and I asked Puspa. She's like, "This has been booked for God knows how many months. Like, we're gonna have to wait till next year." But
right.
it's great. Like, yeah, 3 days straight. Like the whole town just gets invaded. Yeah, come back next year for sure.
Definitely.
It's been a
Definitely
busy
want
day
to.
because we're doing the stair climb and the craft beer festival, and yeah, and then what's happening at the quarry.
What's the stair climb I keep hearing about?
Oh, jeez.
They're just climbing stairs.
Chris, you could probably explain it better than I. It's like a marathon of sorts.
Okay.
But since Bisbee is all built on all sorts of different levels, there's a thousand stairs, right? Is that?
Yeah, it's just a course around Old Bisbee, and
okay.
they charge $125 for what's otherwise free 365 days a year to run on the steps.
Yeah, but it's fun. But people love it.
Thousands of people come.
Yeah, it's a big deal, and people love it.
Oh my god. Okay,
Paying to do something I can do all the rest of the time. Climbing stairs to do it.
Oh my god.
But there's a lot of what I've explored in Bisbee. I mean, you can see the main street and you can see Brewery Gulch, but if you take some of those stairways, you're like, what the? There's some artwork, there's murals. I mean, there's all sorts of crazy things that you can only find if you just take some of those steps.
Well, that's
So
cool.
cool.
I can't
Yeah.
wait to check that out.
I should probably not tell my audience that because there are people who live, on the steps. I'm sure they get used to it during the stair climb, but like you can climb 100 steps and then just pretty much reach a dead end at somebody's house, and you just got to turn around, and they probably get sick of it.
100 steps.
Well, Chris here, pretty much. You ever see somebody just climbing up your steps? Any tourists or anything? He lives right in Old Bisbee.
Yeah, 40 steps up from
Yeah.
the street. You meet somebody else in Bisbee, and they're like, "Oh no, I've got 60."
Oh, that's
Do
funny.
you guys measure like your house by steps? Like, I'm at 20. I'm at 20 steps.
I'm a 20-step guy.
Oh no, I
Yeah.
live over. I'm 30 steps to the left. Well, I'm 45 to the right.
Yep.
I got a little ways to go. It's all right.
Pretty much.
But they're in terrible shape, so
Yeah.
that makes it okay.
I'm trying to think of what else I wrote down.
We
for
actually
you
have
guys.
a lot of steps in Echo Park.
Oh yeah, okay. Talk
Echo
about
Park
that.
and
What's-
Silver Lake.
And
Totally.
Silver
We
Lake,
grew
yes.
up with all these cool dead end street neighborhood steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All over the
I
neighborhood.
don't know anything about
Throughout the
Echo
hills.
Park.
Yeah. There's a lot of
If
staircases.
you ever come to LA,
Yeah.
come to Silver Lake and Echo
I'll
Park.
show you
There's,
some steps.
you could go on a whole
Okay.
stairway tour.
There's a great adventure. I can bring my dogs. They love it. Yeah, it's a fun walk.
That sounds like a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's left on this tour?
Well,
playing
we've got
Tucson tomorrow?
tomorrow.
Where are you guys playing in Tucson?
At House of Bards.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you're
Never
heading
been to
farther.
Tucson, so
Yeah. Oh,
the
good.
adventure continues. I'm really excited.
A lot of new places, huh?
Yeah.
And
In
then
Taos.
Taos,
Yeah, that's
Mexico.
awesome. That's the next stop after
Taos
Tucson?
Mesa
Yeah.
Brewing. That's
Awesome.
where we're going. 21st, I believe, right?
Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple
And
days off in Denver.
couple days off,
Yeah,
and then
then
we get to explore
Denver.
Denver, and we play there the 24th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With an all-female
With the
rock and roll
blackouts,
band, the
which we're
blackouts.
super excited to play
Blackouts.
with. Yeah.
If you have enough time when you're in Taos, swing down to Santa Fe and go to Meow Wolf. It's just
Ooh.
absolutely insane.
You know, it's gonna be
Cool.
my sister and I. It's gonna be our first time in New Mexico. We're really excited.
New Mexico is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we hear.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we've got some Native American heritage too in New Mexico. So
Yeah.
we're really excited to explore and feel the culture. for
What
sure.
tribe are you guys?
Comanche.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that what part of New Mexico? Do you know?
I'm actually not totally sure. Our dad did like a thorough family tree project in his college years, so that's how we know about it. But
I do know that the Comanche tribe was one of the last tribes left.
Really?
When the
to
white guys were
resist,
taking over.
yeah,
Okay.
to resist, yeah. Warriors.
So that's kind of badass.
It's in our blood. We're warriors.
The warrior tribe, yeah, totally.
There's like endless sites to explore in New Mexico with the Native American culture.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible.
Do you have any places you recommend?
Oh God, Chaco Canyon is incredible, and the Aztec ruins.
Yes, heard of it. Okay.
To hark back to one of my podcasts I did with Doug Hawking, he's a local historian. He grew up on the if I don't remember the word, he's going to kill me. No, he doesn't care, but Jicarilla, the Jicarilla Apache, which is I think like central, kind of maybe western a bit New Mexico.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, there's so much Native American land, and then just sites that you can explore there, just, archaeological sites that have become, I was just there for the Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta, and my friend and I, we headed a bit north, and there's
Balloon
a
Fiesta. What is that?
Oh, you guys don't know about the Balloon Fiesta?
No.
Oh my God. It's probably like one of the biggest hot air balloon extravaganzas.
I've always wanted to do that.
Wait, did I hear about that? And they had some high winds and they couldn't get the balloons off the ground?
Well, believe it or not, we stayed with some couch surfers there, and we actually crewed on Mr. Fish, which was on the Monday. They do it like a weekend and then a week, and then so it's like 9 days. They do 2 weekends in a week.
They had to reschedule some.
The Monday, Mr. Fish went up, and there were a couple other accidents that day because it must have been high winds or something. But
don't take all the fun out of it, Nate.
Mr. Fish had to do
what happened.
He had to do a crash landing, and he landed pretty much right on like an elementary school, like right at the playground, and all the kids got to come out and
they must
touch
have been
the balloon because it was
excited.
slowly deflating. I'm sure the pilot was like,
It was
"What
a
the
valuable
fuck?"
lesson. When you grow up, don't do this.
Yeah, but coincidentally, my friend and I got to crew on Mr. Fish on Tuesday and Wednesday. So Tuesday, we open up the whole balloon. It's this whole elaborate thing just to get the balloon. The special shapes take forever. It takes
before you
forever.
even fill it up.
And I didn't even know this. So we had to wake up at the crack of dawn, and we, spread out the entire balloon, and he started inflating it, and we got it up like the gondola was still on the ground, and we were holding it down. You got to hold down the gondola while they're pumping it up with these big propane tanks and these big heaters filling up the balloon. And apparently it was just a test run because he didn't want to fly on Tuesday because of what happened just the night before. The day before, so we didn't go up on Tuesday, but the day after that, we did go up finally. So Mr. Fish did a great, tour around Albuquerque, and we landed around the Rio Grande, and it was.
Well, I'm glad you survived the balloon adventure.
Yeah,
I mean, I've heard it was pretty. They.
There are things that can happen.
Deflated the balloons. There's nothing sadder than that if you don't get to fly.
Oh my God, I want to go on a hot air balloon so bad though. That sounds like
it
so
seems
much
incredible.
fun.
Yeah, I'll probably start going every year, and
Dude,
then eventually.
I need to go. I've never been, so I need to go at least once.
When the
and
storm's
just,
clear, I'm
right.
all in.
Yeah, totally.
As long as there's no high winds, we're all about the balloons.
Right.
High winds.
They have this effect. It's called the box. I learned all sorts about it in Albuquerque. So they launch, and the wind will take them, a certain distance,
And they go
then
up and they
they
come
go up,
back.
and then they'll take this wind in the opposite direction, and then go down. So it's this big box, and if they hit it just right, I think on Tuesday a lot of balloons hit it just right. Yeah, it's magical. It's magical.
That is magical.
Yeah, you guys.
So in Southern California, they put off someplace and they catch the wind to the coast. And every once in a while, there's a balloon that doesn't make the landing and ends up in the ocean. It happens like twice a year.
Yeah.
I swear to God. And
I didn't even know this.
I know. Nate's
love that he
Nate's a
knows this.
factoid. He's Mr. Factoid
well,
on tour.
my grandmother
He
was
knows all
really
his
into hot air
factoids.
balloons, and so it's like an extra. Like I just kind of pay a little more attention to that than other random facts, I guess.
Right.
No, he knows a lot of random facts.
Did you ever get to fly in one when you're?
Yes, I've been in a hot air balloon.
Oh, it must have been amazing.
So
And we
jealous.
actually missed the landing pad and landed on like a 45-degree hill, but we still landed. The basket didn't dump out, but it was close. And no, it's really peaceful, but I'm kind of more of a Six Flags kind of roller coaster
Really?
kind of guy. Yeah, and
It's more exciting.
He's a
Six Flags is more
motorcycle
exciting than
guy.
the.
Oh, absolutely.
Total thrill seeker over here.
yeah, and I ride motorcycles in LA, and hot air balloons they're nice, you know. It's everybody should do it at least
Too mellow
once.
for him. He
Well,
wants
that's
to
good.
get caught in a storm in a hot air balloon.
Yeah, like
just
you
for the
know, like
thrill.
as long as like you know we land and the balloon doesn't land on us and there's no explosions.
I think people in Albuquerque are just used to it. Like you might just end up with a balloon in your yard during the week of the balloon fiesta.
Yeah, I mean
'Cause-
balloons are better than small airplanes. You know, I'd rather have a balloon in my yard than a small airplane,
It's much
especially
better.
into my house.
So after New Mexico, you guys are heading up to Colorado.
Yes, Denver. Yeah,
Denver.
I can't wait.
Denver.
Have you played Denver before?
No, we've never
No,
been.
we're
We've
super
never been to
excited
Colorado. We're
to
really
play there,
excited.
yeah.
I keep hearing just so many cool things about Denver, especially.
Actually, I'm excited to visit and play.
Yeah. You're skipping right over Colorado Springs. No.
I know.
I used to live in
We tried.
Colorado
I think we
Springs.
tried to.
We're
Yeah.
off actually on that Wednesday, but you know, off nights are hard to book.
It just it was hard to
Right.
book. It was a lot of work booking this tour. you
Really?
know? Yeah, it's a little more than 2 weeks, so it's definitely a lot of work to do, but definitely worth it. But you know, certain dates we'd hoped that we booked that just sometimes they don't happen.
Right.
That's how it is when you're a DIY band booking your own tour. So
Right.
Right. Every day feels like Saturday, but it isn't.
Yeah.
So,
and it's way harder to book when
You
it
know,
isn't a Saturday or
right,
Friday.
right,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah, it can be a lot of work. I spent a long time, but I remember we were on the road pretty much, like on the computer booking gigs in the middle of the tour.
Oh,
You know?
wow.
That's crazy.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah, I guess it happens sometimes.
Yeah,
our-
you get it. You
We
understand.
have our eyes on a booking agent. hopefully
Definitely.
soon,
Booking
yes.
agent for sure. We need
Oh,
that.
good.
Yeah, let me focus on writing the fucking songs. and
Yeah, totally.
playing guitar, and someone else will book the shows. That sounds good to me.
So, I'm trying to think. I wanted to know at least the inspiration of, the song "Shine." Where did that come about? Because that's what you're promoting right now. You have the music video.
So Shine's all about facing your inner demons, facing your shadows in order to find your light and to shine your authentic light. And it's very much, it's kind of poetic in a sense, and like very artistic in the sense that it's a very like human story behind the song Shine, and in a very rock and roll, like heavy rock context. And it's all about finding that inner light through working through your dark side and your shadows. And instead of ignoring that, you're embracing it in order to shine.
Well, we almost called the song Black Fuzz because that's kind of what you have to break through. But we thought that there would be like some weird connotations with the name Black Fuzz.
And then he also liked to nickname it Butt Fuzz.
Is there a write down
When we
when
just
you're-
started writing it.
doing
He's
your
like,
set
oh, what
list?"
are we playing? Butt Fuzz?
I like to joke too. Side note that Black Fuzz was also like when you wear a black sweatshirt and you're wearing a tank top underneath it and you sweat and then you take the tank top off. You've got like black fuzz from the sweatshirt on your armpits or something where you were sweating. Anyways,
Yeah,
funny
and
side
also
note,
just
though.
the term Black Fuzz, I got inspired from reading The Way of Zen by Alan Watts. And he specifically talked about a sort of like dark fuzziness inside the mind. And, I don't mean to get too philosophical here, but that was definitely a big spark of inspiration for that song. We were like out in the desert and it just kind of sprang on me. I got the riff and we just started jamming it. And that was right when I was reading that book. So that definitely sparked some inspiration there.
Right. So who mainly writes the songs? Do you guys all collaborate together?
It's not like super set in stone, but definitely Sassy and I, or Cecilia and I here, are the songwriters. Sometimes I'll write a song all on my own. Sometimes it'll be together. It's kind of different every song.
Right.
Sometimes
I'll write
she
more of a
starts
song and then
yeah.
I share it with Bea and then she puts in her little input to
Yeah.
what she wants to do.
And then once we get the
or-
arrangement going,
or
you
Nate
know,
will like start drumming something
Yeah.
and then I feel like
We
playing
don't
a
tell-
bass line
yeah.
to that and
Yeah.
then it builds that way. So they kind of build in different ways.
and
but-
how it feels, and
Right.
we all kind
Definitely,
of
like-
talk about it as it's forming. Like we're
Right.
not telling Nate to like play the drums specifically a certain way. He does his own creative input there, And, you know, maybe we're all talking about it and it's feeling good. And then we're like, oh, wait, how about on this part? Like, we pull it back a little bit. And maybe, Nate, you come in there like a little bit harder. Or maybe you guys pull back a little bit more. And then I come in here with my guitar a little bit more.
Right.
Or maybe the bass carries on. You know, it's always kind of different with different songs. But it's fun to have that sort of creative collage. That
evolution that takes place. Yeah.
That creative interaction with each other once the song's already like being written. But
Right.
yeah, it's kind of different every song, but
Well, the bass and the drums always have kind of a connection.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
comprises the rhythm section, and obviously you two have quite a connection too. That song has great harmonies too.
Oh,
and I know I mentioned this before, but like something about harmonizing with another human being is a magical experience, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really
It's
does.
like so sonically pleasing and satisfying too to create that harmony.
Yeah, we've definitely been experimenting a lot.
Yeah,
with,
totally.
our harmonies lately. Just in the last year, I feel like we've really like honed in a little bit more.
Yeah, we're definitely delving deeper into harmonizing together more often.
And another thing that's really nice about harmony is that it kind of lets people get on board with singing the song.
Right.
So if there's a higher part and a lower part, sometimes you can find your voice in there to sing along with it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, anyway, that's just one of the really nice things about harmony is like being able to be something more than just yourself, but also being able to sing along and feel it and get into the vibe, whether you're not the singer or a singer, still being able to sing, find a part where you can sing along with it.
Right.
For sure. And also, naturally, like, I have a deeper voice than Bea, and she naturally has a higher voice, so it's pretty easy to, like, harmonize
switch off
together.
and on, though. Sometimes I'll go...
That's true.
I'll go lower while you go higher, but I'll definitely go higher, for sure. Yeah. And you can go a little lower.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
So the one who's usually singing the higher notes, is that the one you're trying to find the harmonizing vocals, right, to the main like melody?
Yeah, well, I can hear
or
it,
is
though.
it...
I can hear it in my head, and like I hear it in my head. I'm like, yep, that's where it needs to go. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the song. Sometimes, like, the main vocal part will be higher pitched, and so then, you know, I'll harmonize with that higher frequency. And then sometimes it's vice versa.
It'll be the lower one,
and the like chorusy part or whatever part it is more deep, and then Bea, you know, harmonizes with that.
It'll make more sense when we start recording our album.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally.
You guys are going to sit down with a lot of studio time, or is it?
Yes.
I mean, we
we
have
at
so we
least
gotta
like
go.
8 to 10 songs to record. So
Yeah.
I'm excited, including Remember the Now, which you saw live.
Awesome.
The second song we played.
That's the second. Okay.
Yeah.
You're recording that soon, so that's
Yeah.
going to be on the full length album. Do you guys have a name for the album yet?
Ooh, not yet.
Not yet.
Definitely
We
soon.
definitely
we have a couple ideas
few
brewing.
ideas.
Name it Bisbee. It's the Bisbee Stairs. That's what it's going to be called.
40 stairs up.
Well, I want to thank Chris Sawyer here at KBRP for letting us just kind of sneak in here at
God,
last minute. It's like
totally. So
midnight
much
at this
fun.
point.
Thank you, Chris.
This was so
Little, like,
spontaneous.
late
Yeah,
night
Oh my
spontaneous.
God.
So
Thank you so
he's
much,
great, and I really
Durga.
appreciate it.
So
And
cool.
one more question: I want to know the inspiration behind the name of Flames of Durga. Where does that come from?
Okay, well, first off, we're Leos, my sister and I, and we wanted the element of fire in the name, and we also wanted a goddess name. And we just so happened to find out, just by synchronicity or coincidence, whatever you want to call it, that Durga is a fire goddess from Hindu mythology. And she's got 8 arms. She rides a lion or a tiger. So there's all this like badass feline energy.
Slayer of demons.
And she slays demons.
You know, this badass, fierce, feminine force of energy. You know, this
Right.
badass warrior fire goddess.
It's like a personified force of nature, basically.
right.
And we really connected with it. So, and we knew we wanted a goddess name in our band name. So, and we knew we wanted fire or flames. So, Flames of Durga just kind of came
fit
together.
right into place. And there's nothing called Flames of Durga either, which is awesome too. Band names are tough.
Band names are
So-
really
There's not even like there's
But
no
yeah,
band
it's
name.
like,
There's
fuck
no
yeah,
movie.
Durga's
or-
the badass. Like, I'm
Yeah.
going to fucking rep that.
So if somebody
And,
Googles Flames of Durga, they're only going to find you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's either us
and
and then like
Durga.
a bunch of like Hindu
Yeah.
Durga chants and stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Which is fine.
Right.
Excuse me. Yeah, no, we're definitely honoring the goddess in our band name for sure.
Yeah.
We always have a little Durga at our merch.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that today. Very fitting for the Jones of Rock concert today. That's still going on. You guys almost got booked at like 1 a.m. So they're gonna be. You played around 5, but they're gonna be going like well into the wee hours.
Yeah, I think. I mean, probably at least till 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're having a coughing fit, so we'll pack things up here.
Thanks to KPRB.
KBRP. Yep.
Oh, P.
96.1.
96.1 Bisbee.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah, shout out to KBRP 96.1. Thank you so much for hosting us with this cool interview by Mike here.
Bisbee, Arizona.
Thank you
Bisbee.
guys so much. You're awesome. Sorry I had a little cough attack. I'm a little under the weather. It's all the touring, rock and roll. Woo!
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.